Hey everybody, yeah, it's your boy. I'm so tired. Immediately lost all the steam. The steam went bye bye. Kaputski, if you will. Yeah, she. Oh, did I stop in the middle of a mission? I did. Oh, that sucks. Well, all right. Well, guess I should pick up the controller and put that penis in my mouth. Uh, also no double jump. Yeah, but that's what it was. It's just like I just want to know what it's like for you to love me, like to be affectionate towards me, and it's just the creepiest goddamn thing to hear, in my personal opinion. Is that what I have to do? Like, is that the thing? No, okay. And oh shucks. And a part of me feels like really bad for being creeped out by it, cause that's like the. I don't know, man. Like I don't know who. I don't know how do you tell somebody like, yeah, it's. I don't know how you tell somebody it's weird for you to request that I care about you.
Yeah,
When
it's quite strange indeed.
oh man, I feel slightly bad about it, but not bad enough. All right, so we got updates in the saga of the roommate. You want to tell them?
Mm,
I know you don't want to tell them, but I need you to tell them. So tell them, yeah.
no,
Is
I can't.
is he home?
Mm-hmm.
Is she home?
She better not be. Um, Not in this one.
Okay, so I can tell y'all as much as I know. Uh,
Yeah.
she got arrested.
No, no, no,
Why
no.
did
You
she?
tell, and I'll try and fill in
Yeah, 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 yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
without.
But do we
Yeah.
know? Really, that's all I had to do. What did she get arrested for?
Okay. Are you ready for this? Um, Actually, this is fully like a story that I just have to tell in full, real quick. Um,
I man, I'm all here for it.
when was the last time we spoke?
Last week, last
Like,
la- last time we recorded. You mean last time we verbally
had it
communicated?
had had it already gone down?
What?
The
Arrest?
arrest?
Yeah,
Yeah. It had.
yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it was like a week before that or something, because I remember. So that night, like I've had to go outside because
Yeah, I hear the
this is
crickets.
too good to not like tell.
Well, hurry up so we can get back in
So
the house.
I feel like the last time before that we had spoken, because I don't think, or we had recorded, because I don't think anybody was over that night. Um, or at least I'm not sure. I can't recall completely. But I know that I had gone into my room and I was preparing for the lay down. Um, and then I walked out of my room and he was like in the kitchen. And he comes around the corner into the hallway as I'm walking out and he goes, "Did somebody knock?" And I'm like, "No. Why? Did you hear somebody knock on the door?" And he's like, "No, but I thought I did, and I looked outside and I didn't see anybody. Were you expecting anybody?" And I was like, "No, were you expecting anybody?" And he's like, "No." So he went back to his room. I went back to my room. A couple days ago, we found out what the knock was. 'Twas her.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So he gave me the whole breakdown. Apparently, so okay, so you know how after the hospital situation, he went crawling back to that dumb hoe, and he swore up and down that they weren't gonna be in a full relationship like it was last time, and yet he spent like 4 days in a row with her. Um, but turns out that all that time, specifically after getting out of the hospital, after he broke up with her, she had started seeing another dude on the side.
Damn! This bitch thotty. Oh,
So
by the way,
not only that,
by the way,
not only
she got
that,
her OnlyFans page.
yeah.
And we talking about full nudes. Like,
Okay, so not only was she seeing somebody on the side, but this dude was also selling her Xanax. So she was getting high with this guy, probably sleeping with this guy. I'm not sure. And also, you know, this stupid simp of a roommate of mine was just dealing with it. Because he knew. So he told me that the night, the knock thing, apparently she had texted him.
uh-huh.
It's like 3, 4 in the morning. She was like, "Can I see you?" And he goes,
Ooh, I
"I'm
don't
not
like that sentence.
driving."
I don't like that
He's like,
sentence.
"I'm not driving all the way to your house at 3 o'clock in the morning." And she's like, "It's okay. I'm in Nashville. I'll come to you. I don't care what hole you got in your bed. I'm coming over because we belong together."
But you was fucking somebody else.
Yeah, she was coming from the guy's house.
Ooh, okay.
So,
I'm here. I'm here for it.
so she came over. She knocked on the door. Nobody answered the door. And so I guess she left. And in her leaving, she wrecked the car.
Huh?
The car was not her car. It was her roommate's car. She wrecked her roommate's car. She got caught with Xanax in her system, with Xanax on her, with an open container in the car. She refused a breathalyzer.
Like they needed it.
And it was her third DUI.
Ugh. 3
At
times.
23 years old. Oh, she was also driving on a revoked license.
Of course you was.
Yeah. So that's how she ended up in jail. And like I've told you just about everything else. Like what else do you know? I'm going back inside, so you're gonna have to fill in some other.
I didn't know shit. Like
details.
Honestly, I just got that. That for me was like.
Yeah, I purposely didn't tell you any of that in text form. Like I sent you all of the audio files of him just talking, but I don't even remember what he was saying. Or at least I do remember the one night where he was talking about how he feels bad for her because she's in jail and she doesn't have a spine and she's probably going to get taken advantage of.
Did this motherfucker really say she'd get taken advantage of? Like, dude, she's not going to get taken advantage of. She's just going to have sex in prison. Like, that's it. Like,
So
she's just
no,
having sex.
he said that she called him one day crying from jail, and he was like, "Don't be crying on the phone. Don't let them see you cry. Like they're gonna think you're weak."
Does he think she's a man?
Well, he thinks that all jail is the same, and I mean, it might be. Who knows? We've never been in a women's jail or a men's jail for that matter.
I watched Orange is the New Black, so you know I kind of.
That's it. That's it. That's all the experience we got. And I watched Oz. You know, that's it. That's all we know. Sometimes lockup is fun.
But she's going to jail. She's not going to prison.
So, yeah, prison, yeah. But he's been in that jail before, like that jail system, and he was like, that's the type of jail where if you get into a fight in jail, then they slap you with another charge.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed
So
to get
if
into
you,
fights as an
yeah,
adult.
so he was like, but he was like, they try to charge you for every little thing. They put him in solitary confinement for 2 weeks straight. And he was like, I almost went crazy. Like, dude fully has PTSD from lots of experiences in his life, and that's one of them. But it was just funny that night that he was talking because he was just talking mad crap about her. Like, he was like, she doesn't have any friends. He spent all day in her house because she lives in a house with other college students, so she has a room. He spent all day packing all of her stuff alone, alone, and took it to her brother. And then she had two cats, and he was like, I spoke to her roommates, and
I
I
thought you
asked
were
them
gonna
if they
say.
could stay.
I thought you were gonna say he spoke to the cats. I really did. Like I
Shut
really
up.
did.
He said I spoke to her roommates and asked if they could stay, but the roommates like don't really want to deal with the cats. So he promised the roommates that he would come back. She lives a good 30, 40 minutes away. He said he would come back once a week to change the kitty litter and to like clean the cats. Um and turns out either way, she was already getting evicted. So she pretty much got free, like a free moving service out of him. He had to drive a good 30 minutes further to meet her brother to give all of her stuff to her brother because her family wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. I tried to speak to him about all of the behavior that he was talking about because he said that she was absolutely like ridiculous. Like when they would go out, it's like I was telling you when I watched her walk on the street that one night, how she just moved, bumping into people, didn't care, had no spatial awareness at all. And he was like, yeah, she was like that all the time. Like she would just like in clubs just be on the floor, and he would try to like pick her up and drag her out. And all of her friends hated him because they thought he was mean because he would yell at her when she would just be lying on the floor to get up. Because I asked him if he had spoken to her friends to see if any of this behavior was happening before or after her dad died. Because I wanted to timeline it. And he was like, her friends don't like me, so I don't speak to them. The one friend she had was the one. Did I tell you, like, she brought a friend over and they were just all over one day, and the friend didn't know that I was in the house, and she walked into the dining room and saw me sitting at the table and then just turned around and walked away and went to his room and said, there's a guy in your kitchen. And then he went, yeah, my roommate. So he said that
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
he said he tried to message her when he found out that she was in jail, right? And the girl was like, I don't think it's appropriate for you to be messaging me without her knowing. He's trying to tell you that your friend is in jail and you think he's trying to hook up with you. Oh God.
He ain't above it.
Like this stuff can't write itself. Like it's you can who would think to write these things, you know? Um so that was one day where he's talking about all the stuff that he did and how he was like feeling bad because if he had opened the door then she wouldn't have, and then I was like, okay, but what would have happened if she wasn't in jail? And he was just like, I don't know. um Oh, he mentioned that he tried to come up with a plan to get the money to get her out of jail, but she was still too whacked out of her mind to understand any of what was happening. And here's how I know that she has a magical Budinda. her freaking ex-boyfriend was willing to throw in money to help her get out of jail.
Can I? Okay. Let's shush for a second. Again, to the people who may or may not be listening to this, I've seen her finally. Like I've seen like a close up. Like I've seen her. Like she has an OnlyFans, and I subscribed just so all of us would know exactly what was what was going on, with her. Like I don't know. I want to see her naked because that's who I am as a person. Like I like titties, and I'm not gonna pretend like I don't.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I find her off-putting, but she does. She has a nice set.
She doesn't, but I mean, well, then again, I like
She
fat.
does.
I like fat girls.
For natural
Again,
skinny girls. Yes, she does.
yeah, I'm about to say because I like fat girls, so I'm used to big titties. So the issue is she's a very attractive white girl. If you don't look at her face,
Meh. Yeah,
like
exactly.
she looks beat the fuck up, and she just might be. Like I really don't think she's fun to look at. She looks older than she is. Like she's 23. She looks like she's 37.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
yeah, like I would just straight up like question whether or not she's actually only 23. That's how bad she looks. Um, but this entire saga, yeah, like so where we are now is her mom is willing
What's the
to
last thing
bail
you
her
said?
out.
No, I'm not done.
We're not ready yet. Okay,
No.
cliffhanger.
So, yeah. So, I mean, speaking of the OnlyFans, right? So my roommate came up with the plan to get her out. She has a car that she bought on Facebook, but it crapped out. But he was like, "We can sell your car. You have some money in the bank. Your brother is willing to throw in some money. Your ex is willing to throw in some money." And he was like, "We can use the money from your OnlyFans." Turns out he knew about the OnlyFans. And then he was like, "And if you want, like, I can run the OnlyFans for you." Um, and here's the thing: she was about ready to accept all of this. But then he said he could run the OnlyFans. And turns out that he can't run the OnlyFans without her phone. Um, because
They have it.
he would need her phone to complete the two-step authorization.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to give him her phone. She gave him all of her bank information, complete access to her bank. She didn't want to give him her phone.
This
And
thought
I'm
is
just
something
like,
else.
whoa, what was on the phone?
This thought is
And then
something
I
else.
was like, "Do you think are you on the OnlyFans?" I was just trolling him at this point because I knew he wasn't. And he was like, "No, I'm not on the OnlyFans." And I was like, he goes, "I better not be on the OnlyFans." And I was like, "Well, maybe you should think about it." And he goes, "I mean, I could. We have so many videos." But then he goes,
He
but then I
likes
thought about
fucking
like,
her.
what would other girls think about me if like they saw me on OnlyFans? And I was just
They
like,
think
what
you were a
other
whore.
girls are looking for you on OnlyFans?
Yeah, they think you're a whore.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, anybody he messes with is instantly going to be able to tell he's a whore. So that was the first night. The next night, he tells me a little more, but his tone changed
ugh.
because the first night he was just feeling bad and sorry for her, but then the second night he goes, "I really was mean to her." I was like, "You think?" And he goes, "Dude, like, we were at Waffle House and we got into a fight and I left her there and she walked home."
Stop
And then
slapping
he was
me.
like, and he goes, and then the next night was when she went and met the dude and then tried to come over here. And he was like, "I feel a little guilt for that because I feel like if we hadn't have gotten into that fight, then she wouldn't have gone to him for support or whatever."
You're an idiot.
Yeah. I was like, she's an adult. She did what she was gonna do. Um, who knows how many other people she would have gone to anyway. But then he was like, I feel like jail's probably the best place for her anyway, though. Because he said when they spoke that day, she was finally fully sober. She had no recollection of anything. She just basically woke up in jail and was like, "This is where I live now."
Yeah, this is home.
Uh, yeah, a full Bianca Belair. I go here now. Now to catch you up,
Damn.
this was all in the last week. Last night was when I found out that her mother has fully bailed her out of jail. She's out. She's out of jail. But her mother did it on the condition that she go to rehab.
Which is dumb,
Now,
in my opinion. Because, like, you
very,
can't
very much so.
force
You know
it.
why?
You can't
You know
force
why?
it.
No,
Oh,
because she has already texted him to see if he's going to the Steve Aoki concert this weekend. So she's out and already planning to go party.
So she's going to see Rick Steves this weekend.
While being out of jail now, she has to have if she have
Hold up, you're breaking up.
she has to wear a drug patch
Let's
and
start
she's
over.
got an ankle monitor.
Yeah, start that over because you broke up. While being out of jail, she
So
what now?
where?
While being out of jail, she has to do what?
Oh, now you're breaking up.
It'll be all right. We're fine now. You said
No.
while being out of jail, she has to do something.
She has to, if she had a working vehicle, she has to have the alcohol, the breathalyzer in the car.
Damn.
She has to wear a drug patch. She has to wear an ankle bracelet. Um, her mom should have left her in jail. Oh, also, she messaged him about going to the Steve Aoki concert after accusing him of stealing her things because she couldn't find her stuff.
What?
And he was like, "Your brother has all of your stuff."
Boy, she really does remind
Yeah,
me
he
of
said that he
old girl.
he said he messaged when she was asking about the concert. He said, "You just got out of jail for drugs and alcohol or whatever," and then she sent him the eyes rolling emoji.
I would like to
A
remind
child.
everybody that in the next episode, I'm going to tell y'all the worst joke I've ever told, as far as like inappropriate and rude. We're going to tell y'all the rudest joke I've ever told that actually made somebody
Okay,
laugh.
well,
But I just want to point out that like
was it me?
no.
Okay.
It happened today, and it made a woman laugh. And just know that like they weren't happy with themselves because the joke was so out of left field, like Sheffield, that she laughed before she was able to tell herself she can't laugh, and then got upset with me slightly because it's not a good joke. It's very rude. But just keep everything in mind that like this girl also was willing to kill herself because he was going to break up with her. So I just find it like he might need to
And I
like
mean, he told me a couple of other times when he started the pattern of the situation because he said a couple of times he tried to break up with her previously, and she would just run to his car and get in the car and not get out until he gave in. So he let her know that he was a simp.
there's a reason she's single.
But she wasn't
Yeah, she
for
was.
4 years.
Yeah, but that's different. He was gay. He didn't give a fuck about her. Like he was just using her for butt sex.
For him.
Yeah, butt sex is butt sex. Doesn't matter who's getting it. But yeah, her mom bailing her out is a bad idea. Also, like, cause I had a conversation with what's her face about with Alicia about this today, and she's very unsure about how parents get to that point. Like, how does a parent get to the point with a child where you just don't
Give up.
where you don't know? Well, yeah. Well, how do you like not get to a point where you realize that it's time to let it go? It's time to stop coddling them and let them face the repercussions of their actions. And I told her, like, I think a lot of the times what it comes down to, and we're gonna like call it this thing. I think a lot of times it comes down to people being embarrassed by the actions of their kid. So
Definitely.
So what happens is it's easier to try to like solve the problem by making it the kid's problem. Like in this scenario, it's like you're gonna have to go to rehab. That girl doesn't have to go to rehab. Like saying like I'm gonna bail you out, but you have to go to rehab. She could just not go. She could just not go to rehab. That's always an option. And I'm pretty sure that at this point, her mom probably really is embarrassed by her, but she doesn't know what else to do. Like she really just doesn't know what to do, and it's you're kind of stuck.
Like what was going to be said at the family reunion?
It's like she's really learned how to hold her coke.
No, she hasn't.
But all right, that's the end of this episode. Get out.